Head of International City Promotion at Barcelona City Council. Welcome to the session Barcelona Catalonia Top European Ecosystem for Health Tech Scale-Ups. Okay. First of all, let me thank the organizers of Giant Health for giving us the chance to explain Barcelona and Catalonia and the arguments that, in our opinion, make our territory a top European ecosystem for health tech, and more particularly for scale-ups and this sector. We have gathered here today a sort of dream team for this session with the presence of Montse Daban, Scientific and International Relations Director at BioCat, the bioregion of Catalonia, and Roger Costa, Foreign Direct Investment Manager at Catalonia Trade and Investment. When we were preparing this session, we had a conversation about how to make it more vivid, more agile, and how to communicate in the best way the assets and opportunities of our territory with regards to the health tech sector. We arrived to the conclusion that we didn't want to be boring with a lot of slides or a lot of data. So we are trying to reproduce something like an open conversation and very informal in some way, not forgetting to give the basic information that you need if you want to come to our territory and to locate your company in Barcelona and Catalonia. In any case, let me abuse of my position as something similar to a moderator and talk about the soft factors of Barcelona to become an investment destination. We agreed that I was going to talk about the soft factors that make Barcelona an outstanding investment destination. But let me explain that soft can be hard sometimes. Once I attended a webinar in the States, and there was one city, I'm not going to tell you the name of the city, which said that Barcelona is too sunny and too funny to create a company, too distractful in some way. My feeling is that with Barcelona Activa, the local development agency that has been supporting the creation of companies for 30 years, that creating a company is a really hard job. So you don't need a hard city that makes you some constraints or make you more difficult, makes your life more difficult in your daily premises. So my feeling is that let the city make your life a bit easier, because starting up a company is hard enough, and you don't need more difficult things. I would like to stress and to highlight some of the soft factors that make Barcelona a human scale place and will make life easier for anyone. I'm sure most of you have visited already our city and have enjoyed our beaches, our sun, our surroundings, our gastronomy, our mountains. So I'm not going to tell you a lot about this because most of you know it already. But let me focus in three aspects that are related to uncertainty. And in this way, I think Barcelona gives you some certainty. One is security. If you live in Barcelona and you walk in Barcelona, you have a feeling of security in general. And this is something to take into account. Very important. When you take public transportation or you walk in the streets, it's a secure place. And we extend the security concept much wider to the health system, for example. We have a very good health system, a public health system, with 2 hospitals in the top 100 of the world, Hospital Clinic in number 38 and Vall d'Hebron in number 99. So it's a place in which you can feel secure in these two aspects of security, no? And another one would be public transportation. Public transportation, you need to understand that 85 of daily movements in the city are either done by public transportation, by foot, and by bicycle. So that means it's a city which is very livable in just walking or with public transport. You don't need to take the car or the motorbike, well, there's a lot of people that uses the motorbike, but it is very, very easy to move around. And in 1 hour, you can live in the metropolitan area of Barcelona very, very easily, with no feeling of living in a overwhelming city, or just a very big metropolitan area. The other thing that I would like to say is about openness. I mean, when you want to create a company, you need to have an open atmosphere. And in Barcelona, I think you don't have the feeling that you are criticized. You can be who you are, with no regard to your sexual orientation, your abilities or disabilities, your personal images. You can be who you are, and that's something that gives you allows you to feel open and to collaborate with others. It's a sort of you need a sort of promiscuous atmosphere, understood in the good way, okay? In a way in which you can mingle with other international people, because we have 21.7 foreign population. Percent of foreign population, which is a lot. You need to understand that in the year 2000 we were at the 2%. Okay, people coming from 196 countries, and nearly 300 languages are spoken in the city of Barcelona. So you will have a cosmopolitan atmosphere as well, and those startup founders that come with families will be able to find as well the school premises that they need, because there are more than 35 international schools in the metropolitan area of Barcelona. Just to finish, a small highlight about the startup positioning of Barcelona. Very recently, Startup Heatmap launched their Startup Heatmap report, and it was very, very, very nice to discover that we were, for 4 years in a row, the third most preferred city for startup founders in Europe. Okay, this is something that is very important and has a direct impact on the people, international people that work for startups. Okay, 31% of foreign population or 31% of workers, employees of startups are foreign. Remember that we have 41% of foreign population. That is even higher. But if you take into account the founders, 65% of the founders are foreign. So that gives you an idea of the international atmosphere, which is even bigger when we talk about the startup scenery. Okay, I'm not going to talk more about the soft aspects and the startup scene. And I will give you the floor. to Montse with a question. Okay, why Barcelona, Catalonia is top European ecosystem for Healthtech scale-up, Montse?
Well, thank you, Xavier, for giving me the floor to talk about that. It's really, I must say, it's a pleasure, and it's a personal also satisfaction to be here with you today, because we are not only working together to promote this excellent place for life sciences and healthcare and health tech in Europe, but also we share the same willingness to work for the competitiveness of our region, and from different perspectives. And we also have been working for that for years. So it's really good to be here with you. And I also want to thank the organizers for giving us the chance to express that. As Xavier mentioned, BioCat is the organization that promotes and dynamizes the life sciences and healthcare ecosystem in Catalonia and in Barcelona. We have been gathering all the landscape KPIs and information that will be available to you from our report, that I'm going to share some details here. Of course, I'm not going to overwhelm you with data, but I think it's good to mention that, like Xavier said, there are a lot of soft figures or soft factors that make Barcelona a really top destination for starting a business, but also coming to live and experiencing the lifestyle here. But Barcelona, plus that, on top of that, is a top destination because it's a world-class science city. We are top. We are ninth in Europe according to Nature Cities Index, and our life sciences, biomedical research is also like about 50% of the research and the life science and the production, scientific production in the region. That means that we are really specialized in this area. We have top universities, top research centers, and hospitals. So that makes already what is necessary to be top in innovation in life sciences. We have the science there, and we have also the entrepreneur ecosystem with a lot of startups, and we are actually one of the top destinations also in startups. So the landscape is quite mature already, and I'm going to share just a couple of slides with you, just to this way you may see how is it really organized in terms of the ecosystem, as I say. I just want to check that you're seeing this. Are you seeing my screen? Probably not yet. I'm going to. So, like I said, Barcelona is a world-class science city that, plus all the other factors that already Xavi mentioned, that makes it a top destination for this kind of activities, innovation, life sciences, research, etc. But we have this rich ecosystem within walking distance. Why is this important? Because we are talking about health tech scale-ups today here. And it's important to see that for this to happen, you need a diverse and rich ecosystem. And it's, as many reports say already, you need a convergence of the digital health ecosystem plus a pre-existing pharmaceutical and biotech rich landscape. Because many of the applications, many of the developments of the digital health will nurture this pre-existing pharmaceutical and biotech landscape. And what we have here is, and we would say at walking distance, in terms that you have everything at reach. You have the investors, the ecosystem supporters, like we are gathering here today, but other institutions as well, research centers, you have the hospitals and the institutes. We have some of the top hospitals, top research institutes, not only in Spain, but in Europe as well. And everything is well connected and well built. As you know, an ecosystem needs more than that, needs also an active society. Xavi already mentioned that, and supporting institutions. Roger will talk about that. But we have the ingredients in place, and that is really important. We have top business schools also. And in our report, we are seeing some data here now that belong to our annual report. We do not only talk about the landscape, but we also share the challenges that we have. Of course, we have challenges, but we have a room to improvement that it's a pleasure to share with you, because this is also an opportunity for you to come and face these challenges and help us build a stronger ecosystem with you. That's also the message today. And this diverse life sciences and healthcare startup landscape, it's mainly based on biotechnology, like I said, medical technologies as well, and digital health, which is booming. It's growing. So in about 20 plus years, we've been building this ecosystem, and now it's really shifting to this health tech and digital health. And this is a really important news, because we are, and Dilroom and other reports identify us as this kind of ecosystem. We are really growing in that area, and this is a good opportunity for corporate investors and for startup founders that want to come to this ecosystem. And like I said, this booming digital health, it's really double. I mean, in the Mayo region of Catalonia, we have one new company every week. But in the last years, the digital health companies have doubled in numbers. So that's also interesting. And like I said, you have the drug R&D, the education and training, clinical tools, diagnostics, the diverse landscape of digital health that is nurturing also the pre-existing biotech sector. So this is also a really important message today. It's not only that we are growing on that area, but we have the other pre-existing landscape that is really active, like matching these needs and working together. So this was the few figures I wanted to share with you. And as a summary of that, we can say that we are ready to receive you as an entrepreneur, you as a startup founder, you as a researcher with our top institutions. We have room to growth, and this is your opportunity. But to express how can we help you on that regard, Roger, please, now the screen is yours because you may explain why Catalonia is a business-friendly region and what we can do all together to bring this competitiveness up more than we are sharing now today.
Okay, thank you, Montse, thank you, Xavi, and especially thank Giant Health for the invitation. Yes, in fact, I would like to start underlining that Catalonia is the land of Barcelona. It is more than Barcelona. Barcelona is our capital, is our main international brand, but Catalonia is a region of around 7.5 million inhabitants, which represents around 20% of the Spanish GDP and 25% of the international trade of Spain. We are an important industrial motor in Europe, and we are an important ecosystem, as Montse and Xavi were explaining us, in terms of tech activity, innovative initiative, startups. We are considered or within the top 5 startups ecosystems in Europe. And I was saying Catalonia is a very fertile region for international startups willing to come and set up their businesses here in Catalonia, and especially in Barcelona. I would like to explain in a very few minutes, not what we say about Barcelona, but what multinationals that are already investing in our region and what international institutions are also telling and explaining about us. I would like to, so I could say or mention many reasons why to invest in our region, in our country. But I would like to put in value that it is about a combination of several factors that makes us a unique platform for startups, for technology companies willing to grow and expand in Europe from our region. This unique combination of factors could be summarized into 5 main ideas. First one is what Montse was emphasizing, and it is that we are, as a region and as a city, a top technology, a world-class technology hub in Europe and in the world. We have around 21 of the main 50 innovative companies already operating in Catalonia. Companies like Nestlé, Volkswagen Group or Hewlett-Packard have their global digital hubs in Catalonia. But not only this, also companies in the life sciences sector like Roche Diagnostics, Teladoc, QIAGEN, Ipsomed decided to have their digital and innovation hubs in Catalonia. We have many international funds investing our startups. We have around 400 startups devoted to provide with solutions to the life sciences companies. So we are, as I was saying, an important tech and innovation hub in Europe and globally speaking. Second, we have an important and huge industrial tradition. So we have a very powerful industrial base. And this is very important for startups because it is not only relevant to have a rich, innovative and tech ecosystem, but the startups also need to have the manufacturing plants and the traditional companies very near in order to collaborate with them and to have their market very, very near to them. Third idea, we are a pool of talent. We have an amazing, highly skilled professionals locally here and trained here in Catalonia in a very well-renowned universities like Universidad de Barcelona, UPC, etc. Many universities devoted also to help professionals to be an experts in the life sciences and health tech industry. But not only this, we are also a magnet attract and a region that attracts a lot of international professionals, all international talent. We have several cultures, several procedences, people from different countries willing to every year to be in Barcelona, not only for living, but also for working. And they find here not only, what Xavi was mentioning, a very good quality of life, but also professional opportunities. Fourth idea, we have location. From Barcelona, you can, as a startup, as a multinational, you can reach the European market, more than 400 million consumers in less than 48 hours. So we are very well connected to Europe and to the world in general. We are, for instance, a very good platform for reaching Latin American markets or for Asian companies to reach Europe. So we have location, we are location, and many companies coming from the belonging to the life sciences sector decide to have in Barcelona their logistics hub also for reaching the European market, or using us as a platform for Africa or South America. And fifth factor that I wanted to put in value is that we are an open, a pro-business region. We have a pro-business government, we have a pro-business institutions. We are here, three of the public institutions aligned to give support to foreign companies. And that makes that, for instance, today we have around 9,000 multinationals operating and established in Barcelona and Catalonia. We are creating within the life sciences industry one company per week. And we have, as I was saying in the very beginning, a very fertile region in terms of creation of companies and in terms of hosting new companies from abroad. And just a minute to explain you some tangible things that make Catalonia a very and extremely business-friendly region. We have a very efficient tax regime when it comes to R&D activities. We have a patent box system, very interesting. We have discounts on social security for companies. We have an important corporate tax deductions for companies regarding to or affecting to R&D expenses. So within Europe, we have an interesting tax framework for those companies willing to do R&D in our country, in our region, in our city. Second, we have several programs and incentives for the startups. I could mention some programs, but especially we have lines, incentives, and grants for startups, for new companies emerging within the technology sector and within the life sciences sector. And also we have a reduction in the corporate tax for the newly created companies. So new companies coming from abroad, they will find here an interesting tax framework for creating and starting a business. And third and last one, we love create jobs. Catalonia and Barcelona are absolutely oriented to creating jobs and to facilitating the recruitment processes of the companies. So we have programs for the international mobility of the researchers, of professionals, that makes us an important hot spot in Europe in terms of job creation and talent attraction. That would be my summary, my resume of the factors, Montse and Xavi. And I would maybe, Xavi, it would be nice to explain to our audience how we are coordinated among the public, between the public institutions, and how, in fact, we work together. Putting our services and support to the disposition of international companies willing to start a business and participate to our ecosystem.
Thank you, Roger. Yes, for sure. I will explain. I will explain this service but let me before add some basic data that I think that is important. That to give a dimension, for example, of the startup scenery, which just letting you know that this startup ecosystem we are talking about, your data, Roger, in Catalonia and Barcelona Startup Hub says that very recently, said that we had 1,708 startups in Catalonia, 80% of them based in Barcelona. And another information with regards to the connection of Barcelona, which means that if you are in Barcelona, you are in Europe. Barcelona is the airport has more than 200 European connections, and it's one of the most well-connected airport in Europe. Just to give you some more information to add to what you have said, Montse and Roger, which has been wonderful. When I listened to all this, I had the feeling that what's not the reason to come to Barcelona and Catalonia, okay? And one of the main reasons is this: we have the floor here, and we have two institutions that are related or represent Catalonia, and one institution that represents Barcelona, working together in one single session, just to explain you. And I need to tell you that when we are talking about landing one company, this atmosphere, this collaboration spirit is in place. I mean, when there is a demand of one company, we sit together and we just share our responsibilities. And we said, with Montse and BioCat, you for sure will have the knowledge of the sector. With Axio, you will have all the assets of the administration, which is responsible of the competence in landing foreign companies. And in ourselves, in Barcelona, you will have the institution that knows better the city, for sure. Just let me focus on the service that we offer for startups and for talent from a municipal level. We need to tell you that we have a business landing service, okay, oriented to companies and startups that may want to land in our city, okay? And this service it can help you. It may help this startup in location, in hiring people, in connecting with the local institutions that are prominent in the startup scenery, or even with regards to the events and professional activities that take place in our city. Or if you want to find a location, we can help you to find a place. This is complementary as well with Axio services, and I suppose that Roger is going to explain with a bigger and broader perspective, because they are Catalonia and we are Barcelona, okay? But we, as I was saying before, we can collaborate with you in this. I think that our strong point would be talent. I mean, we have launched a whole set of services with regards to talent. Just have a look at Barcelona International Welcome website. We are going to have a presential service for international talent being inaugurated in this autumn. So we are fully aware that this 21% foreign population, representing more than 360,000 people, needs to be taken care of them. And we want to take care of them because we know that at the end they become ambassadors with their families and with the companies that they are working for, and we want to take care of them. So talent and taking care of people is one of our main assets. We have a very good relation with the consulates and international chambers, so that would be our contribution. But I don't want to focus all the explanation. And please, Montse, can you explain and make some of the final statements and how BioCat can help these international scale-ups?
Well, yes, thank you, Xavi. And first, I want to say that probably it might seem a little confusing to those that see. For one, this is quite an institutional speech from the three of us, and it can even be confusing to see how we are interacting. But it's really simple. We are all working for the competitiveness of the city and the region. That's for sure. We are working with stressing the value of life sciences. Like we said, is 7.2% of GDP in Catalonia, so it's strong industry. And it's good news because we are well connected. We are acting together to help you. And it's not, you may see, like I said, an institutional speech, but it has to be a very practical speech. The goal of it is to make it easy for everybody that wants to join our ecosystem and either start a business or invest or do business, etc. So that's good news for everybody, and that's the first thing. So I just wanted to give last wrap up, like Xavi asked me to do now. 3 very simple messages. One is that we are so glad to share this event this week with top cities in Europe like Liverpool, Paris, Berlin, Stockholm, because we are really one of those top ecosystems, and having this event here today means also that Barcelona, maybe you are asking what's happening in Barcelona, but Barcelona is there and the whole region by extension. Despite 90% of the life sciences business is in Barcelona, but there are very interesting things happening outside Barcelona too. So that is also important to remember. That's one thing. And so to stress this position, just some very fast figures, like for example, is the 3rd most attractive city in Europe for startup founders, or that investors and foreign investors are increasing, and in general, the life sciences has multiplied per 2 compared to last year. But digital health in particular is multiplied per 7 in the last 5 years. So that's also strong data to share with you. That's one thing. The other thing is that this dynamism is not only limited to the creation of startups, but also important assets for corporates, for companies, for pharma companies that want to join also our ecosystem or want to do business with us. For example, we have to refer very briefly to this year, to the COVID-19, but our ecosystem has been also very active in research, and particularly in COVID clinical trials in Europe. For example, we are half of the clinical trials that are taking place in Spain are performed in Catalonia, and like I said, to a great extent in Barcelona, but in Catalonia as a region. And we are 13th worldwide. So we have now 130 COVID-related clinical trials, data April 2021. So it's really relevant in Europe. But in general, that was before COVID, that we had a strong position in clinical trials. For example, we are in oncology, we are 6th worldwide, And we are really aligned with the top ecosystems that are also leading these figures in clinical trials in terms of excellence. And our hospitals, we have a network of hospitals really, really active on that regard. So that's another message. Everything that is needed is also in place. And then just to finish, the role of BioCat, like Xavi asked me. So we act by default for all the ecosystem. So it's about 1,200 companies and about 100, almost 100 research institutions and top infrastructures, etc. So that's a lot of ingredients in this ecosystem, and we are pleased to be the front door of it. Like we said, we are working all together for the competitiveness, but as a knowledge partner, we are happy to be of service to you. And we gather the top projects and from the academia, from the hospitals, and also from the startups in a portfolio of investable projects that we can also share with you information to make it very attractive to land, to look for partners, and to look for business here in Catalonia and Barcelona. So I think this is our role. We have a lot of programs for talent, for acceleration, but my message today to you is we are a top European ecosystem for global health tech scale-ups, and that means that you can rely on our assets and our activities to really feel at home here in Catalonia and Barcelona.
Okay.
And I think we just made the round of it. I don't know if you want to add something on that regard too as FDI.
Yeah, no, just 1 minute from my side. I'm not gonna give you a long list of services and support, but just to point out that Catalonia Trade and Investment, Acció, is the Catalan public agency devoted to assisting foreign companies to come and do business in Catalonia. We are working not only for foreign companies willing to come, but also for those which already are in Catalonia. We have an aftercare program to give support to those companies already operating in Catalonia for making them grow and expand from here. It is absolutely important to transmit that all of us, Barcelona City Council, BioCat, and Catalonia Trade and Investment, are 100% business-oriented agencies. So what we want is to create business, create productive activity, and create jobs in our region. Catalonia Trade and Investment has a very important asset, which is 40 offices internationally distributed. So if you are an investor, if you are a startup, if you are a multinational and you want to talk to us, to speak with us, you have people very close to you, and we put our offices, international network of offices, at your disposal. And as Xavi was mentioning, we will work with you all together, Barcelona City Council, BioCat, and Acció. We are very familiar with working in a collaborative way. And what matters, it is not what we are explaining you today, but what the foreign companies and local companies are already doing in Catalonia. And I think it has been properly explained that we have a rich and amazing and a very engaging ecosystem, and many companies that already decided to be here and to be part of our region and of our ecosystem. So you are very welcome to come and be part of this project.
Thank you very much, Roger, and thank you very much, Monse. I don't find a best way to close, Roger. So I think basically what we wanted to explain has been explained. So now it's time for Q&A, for question and answers. And I hope that our explanations have raised some interest and some questions from the audience, and we would love to answer them. So let's go for Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. It went really, really well. We didn't have any hiccups regarding the quality and everything. Yup, very nice. For the Q&A session, I've already.
Hello, everybody again. Well, now that's the moment for questions and any requirements that you may have. So please use the chat and in order to present any questions that you may want us to answer. From social networks, we have received a question about and it says the following. You have been speaking the support that you give to companies, but I would like to understand a specific support given to international reach, and specifically if we want to reach Europe. I don't know whether Montse Rouget, would you like to add something to this? Or if not,
Sure.
Well, yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, we've been explaining what we do to support companies from abroad or investors or entrepreneurs to come to our ecosystem, which we already mentioned all of the ingredients in the previous part. But yeah, actually, we also have some specific actions, programs, and networks to support our companies to connect abroad. And this is also one of our main focuses. I think I can share that with you because it's you are the same in your case in Barcelona City Council and also Axio with your network of offices around the globe. You can also stress on that. But I would like to share something with you, which is this kind of networks that we have and are very supportive to any of this kind of activities. If I may share this particular subject, sharing my slide. This is, for example, we have a network of partners, projects, and alliances. We can do that through the European project we are working in with international consortia, with the European consortia, and some of them are active, and we are also active in the initiatives at the European level. We have these alliances as well. We are members of the Council of European Bioregions, so we can connect all our players with the European clusters devoted to life sciences and healthcare, and also in the US, etc. And we have a strategic role. But for example, if I can stress the role of this project, the Boost for Health is actively providing now vouchers and instruments for our companies to connect to companies, providers of services, and to enter the market at the European level, mostly with the northern part of Europe, but also with other ecosystems in the European landscape. So I think this is also important to share with you. We are not only acting as a sub-landers, let's say, but also to connect our ecosystem SMEs to other ecosystems in Europe. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. And yeah, I think we can do pretty much the same in your case. I don't know if Roger, you want to also add something there, or Xavier, you can also answer this question the same as I did. So thank you.
Thank you, Montse. Yeah, I would like to add some things to your presentation of products and solutions to companies in Catalonia in terms of how can international startups based in Catalonia reach cooperation in Europe and reach European funds. We have a important and very strategic division in Axio, in Catalonia Trade and Investment, devoted to give solutions and support to those Catalan companies and international companies operating in Catalonia when it comes to reach Europe, to find European partners, technological partners, and to find the funds in Europe to develop their R&D and innovative projects in Catalonia. We have several very useful tools. Some of them are an important team focus on the Horizon Europe program, so promoting the technological cooperation between Catalan companies and European companies, promoting the partnerships for developing new technology solutions for the life sciences industry. We have also a program so-called Technio Spring, promoting or which is implemented for promoting the mobility of researchers, so researchers from abroad willing to come to Catalonia to work with our technology centers, universities, hospitals here, and vice versa, Catalan researchers for going abroad. And for instance, we are leading in Catalonia all those issues related to next generation funds because of the COVID situation. So we are gathering the most strategic and important initiatives, also with international companies participating to these strategic projects and initiatives, and we are providing with the information in order to be leading this and reaching properly these European funds within this next generation initiative. So we have, in complementing what BioCat and the Barcelona City Council are offering to their companies, as a Catalan government, we have these tools available for Catalan companies and for international companies in Catalonia. You have all the information in our website, catalonia.com, and we can talk further on this during the whole day. You will find us in our virtual booth that you can find in the platform. Xavi, I think you have also many things to say on this regard.
Well, we have said a lot of things. So just two small remarks. First is that cities are going to have a role as well in the next generation funds, and obviously one of the sectors that is going to be involved and with a big presence is going to be the health sector as well. All the administrations, both the Catalan government, the local city government, and the Spanish government need to be aligned in this, and for sure there are going to be opportunities. So just keep an eye on the news about this. And the second one is the role of cities as prescriptors. Just keep in mind that Barcelona is one of the cities that has been pushing a lot in order to have a good network of cities within Europe. In fact, in part of Europe, Europe is a network of cities in part, and cities can become prescriptors. There is just a small example, Eurocities, which is the association that gathers the biggest cities in Europe, which are a role in the European Commission. We are founders of this association, and of course we could be willing to give this platform with our partners as well, with Healthtech companies. And that's it. I mean, I don't know whether I don't see any more questions, so I may finish this session just saying thank you to my colleagues that have been presenting, and all the attendees, and of course to Giant Health, because this is the start of one day dedicated to Barcelona and Catalonia as a top European ecosystem for global health tech scale-ups. So wonderful.
Xavi, I would like to add that you all can have a little taste of what is going on in Barcelona and Catalonia this afternoon with a session devoted to the SME showcase of startups, success cases in the ecosystem. And I think besides the whole day is very busy, but please have a look at that, because they're going to explain their perspective, their success, and it's going to be really interesting too.
Well said, Monse, for sure. That we still have some interesting sessions all the day, and as Roger was explaining before, you have as well the booth in which there's a lot of documentation. So thank you all, and thank you the audience for this session, and I want to see you in the sunny Barcelona in short. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. See you.